Hey everybody, it's 123 Mr. B. We are working on our breaking math program. We're going to talk about some subtraction practice examples here. Actually, I'm just going to do some examples here using the system that we did. So here we have subtraction 327 minus 155, and what we're going to do is simply break it down to its to its smaller numbers, to its component chunks is what we're going to do. Now what I'm doing is I'm spacing this out a little more so that I have room for negative signs. Think of it like this. No sign, that means it's positive. You're walking to the store with this much money, and now we're going to spend this much money. Spend 100, and then I'm going to spend 50, and then I'm going to spend 5. Okay? So the language is important. And then I spend, and then I spend. Helps us keep track of things here. So 3 minus 1 is simply 2, so that's 200. And then 20 minus 50, well, what's that? I'm not sure. How about this? If we know that 50 minus 20 is 30, then it follows that 20 minus 50 is the same digits with a negative sign. So that's got to be negative 30. And then 7 minus 5 is 2. Okay, there's my equal sign. Let's scoop those up here. 200 minus 30, well, I know obviously that's going to be 170. And then I'm adding 2. And so my answer must simply be 172. Just like that. And of course, I only had one little thought cloud on the side on this one. Okay, let's check out another example. Here's a little bigger one. So again, we go to the store with $6,000 plus 500 plus 30 plus 3. So that's in our pockets. I'm sure we'll have some thought clouds up on the side. We're going to give away or spend, I like spending better, spend 2,000, and then we're going to spend 800, and then we're going to spend 70, spend 70, and then we're going to spend 4. Okay, let's see what happens here. 6 minus 2, that's easy, that's 4,000 left. And then, okay, 500 minus 800, well, if 800 minus 500 is 300, then it follows that 500 minus 800 is the same digit, same number with the negative sign, or the reverse sign. So that's going to be negative 300. Here, if 70 minus 30 is 40, then 30 take away 70 is minus 40. Okay, that's thought cloud part 2, minus 40. And here, 3 take away 4 is going to be negative 1. Hoping you're seeing the pattern already. So 4,000 minus 300 is 3,700. Everything else comes down exactly where it is. And this is where it becomes a little more important, because we're not going to forget about one of these little signs. We don't want to forget those signs because that could ruin everything. 3660 plus negative 1, and we can see that takes us down to 3659. Ta-da! And we're good to go. And this time we had 2 thought balloons in our question. Okay, another practice question here. Just like before, sometimes subtraction is given to us like this. Now, one of these numbers is going to go on the top one, so let's think of it like this. This is first, and this is next. Okay, so if we're going to rearrange this one vertically, first number goes on top, subtract the next number. Just as long as you have that one in the bag. This is always the first one, so there it is on top. Now let's separate that out. 7,000 plus, forget that little dot there, 700 plus 70 plus 7. And here I'm taking away, or I'm spending 5,000, and then I'm spending 800, and then I'm spending 80, and then I'm spending 9. Okay, I didn't leave too much room for my thoughts here. Always have your thoughts on the side, right? That way it doesn't get involved in your work. So here, 7 minus 5 is 2. That's not too hard, hey? Now 7 minus 8, so I'm thinking if 800 take away 700 is positive 100, then the reverse, 700 minus 800, must be the same number, but reversed. Same thing here. If 80 take away 70 is 10, then 70 take away 80 has to be negative 10. Same thing here. If 9 minus 7 is 2, that means 7 take away 9 is 2 with a negative. Oh, see, and I already forgot to bring a sign down, so I'll bring that there. And now we just put everything back into baskets here. 1900, your work does not migrate. Here it is, exactly where it was before, straight up and down. Put that together, 1890 plus -2, and that brings us obviously to 1888. Don't forget your equal signs here, because you're saying that that's what it's going to equal. And there is your answer. And in this one, well, we would have maybe done our if-then thoughts for this one, and this one here. Like, you know, like if 80 minus 70 is 10, then 70 take away 80 is -10. That sort of thing. That's what belongs in our side work here. All right, looks like we got one more mega huge question here. So let's do it up here and see if you can do it in advance of me. See how you do. So 8,000 plus 80,000 plus 5,000 plus 300 plus 10 plus 7, and now we're spending 6. Whoa, look at that. I made a mistake. We're not spending anything here. There's a 0 in front of here. So this is just 0. So the first thing we're doing is spending 6,000. And then we're spending, and then we're spending 700, and then we're spending 80, and then we're spending 9. Wowee. It's okay, mistakes are part of the learning process. I got to make sure not to rush my work. I'm sure we've all heard that before. 5,000 take away 6,000 is going to be -100. 700 minus 300 is 400, so 300 take away 700 is going to be 400 with a minus sign. And here, 80 minus 10 is 70, so 10 minus 80 is going to be -70. And then here we can see it's going to be -2. Think of it like this. It's 7 degrees outside, and then it drops by 9 degrees. It'll take us below the 0. And scoop them all together. So 80,000 minus 1,000 gives us 79,000. Everything else comes down exactly where it is. No drifting left to right. You'll thank me for that later. 79,000 minus 400 is going to be 78,600. 90 take away 4 is 86. Bring down everything else where it is. Equal sign. Next scoop. 600 minus 70 is going to be 530. So we'll have 78,530 plus -2. Scoop those together. 78,528. And that is your answer. And that is your evidence trail. So again, this stuff is helping us practice for much crazier and much more difficult concepts. It might seem a little redundant and taking a little while right now, but just trust me on this. This is how we're practicing the building and the writing of our math. So I hope you enjoyed that, and check out the next vids.